So.
Nice. Same thing here. Resistance breath in.
So.
Again here.
So.
Again.
So.
Nice. So. Zigzag. Great. I'm curious, can we do that resistance breath down here? And so what we're going to do is make sure when you kind of do the little hum sound afterwards, so take your time on the inhale, blah, 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 till you're nice and full. You're going to feel it kind of like inflate right above the bridge of your nose. Yeah.
Pressure.
Yeah. We're building up pressure right behind the lips. And then we release it into the tho-wee-oh down here. Oh my God. One more like that. Hey, that was great. Nice. Straight in, no pause from the lip trill to the shotho.
Oh, so excuse me. Let me do it one more time.
No problem. Lip trill into it again down here. Excellent. Nice. That lip trill just keeps us a little bit more lifted as we're getting into that bottom range. Beautiful, beautiful. This one's all about that one long legato line. What if we lip trilled into that one? Show from the lip trill, just 1, 2, 3 on a lip trill into the line show. Same thing, a little lip trill lead in here. Curiosity shoe. Have you ever lip trill pinched?
So,
I
so
know it feels weird. I know it feels super weird. Yeah. Go.
like a nasal lip
Yeah,
trauma.
It stays in the nose. We have a leak into the nasopharynx.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
nice change. What was the difference there between door number one, the first show you did, and then it wasn't as like pressed into the nasal cavities, I think.
Adding some twang into it, I think.
Uh-huh.
So a little bit of that, the brighter of the legato, if you will.
It's about finding a well-tuned balance because obviously we're not looking for me, me, me. We're not looking for that by any means or stretch of the imagination. But a leak into the nasopharynx uh, helps with raising those formants that we need for that ping up there. But also relieving the back pressure, so it's not so much pressure building here, so that your vocal folds can vibrate evenly in a thinner position so that we hit those higher notes with just as much power and consistency as your upper middle voice. Cool. Yeah, that was great. That was such a fast change. You were like, nah, no, yeah, there it is. So really, then I want you to think about keeping that energy right towards the corners of your mouth and or like the incisors of our teeth as we're moving down. So it stays focused here rather than letting it sink a little further back in the vocal tract. Same thing right here.
Hey, say, so, sa.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so the trick with this one is we do get a little more contact closure on the hey, hey.
Hey.
And then the say, so, sa. It's easier as we get to the top to narrow to
Mhm.
create the sound that we're looking for. And so keeping the corners moving in, lips moving away from the teeth. Hey, 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 so, so. Narrow as you get to the
Mhm.
top and come back down.
Okay. Hey, hey, say, so, sa. Hey, hey, say, so, sa.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then kind of remembering that shoo thoo 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 idea of we can create that th sound without the
Say,
jaw, with the jaw a
yeah.
little bit more
Say,
chilled out. Um,
mm-hmm.
hey, hey, say
Say,
so,
so,
sa.
sa.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
feel a raise in the cheekbones, corners move in towards each other
Mm-hmm.
for that nice round embouchure shape.
Hey, hey, say, so, sa. Hey, hey, say, so, sa.
Nice. I'm curious if even the hey can have a little bit of that leak into the nasopharynx. The
Hey,
it's gonna sound ugly at first. Don't run away from me yet. Hey, hey. Can it sound a little squishy
hey, hey,
with the pinch?
hey, hey,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So be
hey,
careful, be
hey.
careful talking about that balance. There's the
Yeah,
crest in there. Hey, hey. And then if I hey, hey, if I press it in there, when I take it away,
yeah,
it still sounds nasal. We're not looking for that one because that's like opening an umbrella
right.
with our larynx, right? Versus
Mm,
hey, hey, when I speak here, it sounds nasal because my nose is plugged. But when I take it away, it's a
mm,
lifted nasal resonant sound, not a nasal sound that I hear.
right. You don't need
So
the effort needed is not nearly that much. So yeah, I totally see what you're saying there.
awesome. Yeah,
So
yeah.
hey, 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 hey,
Now, oh, wait, drop
hey,
just a little
hey,
on that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The hey, 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 hey.
hey, hey,
Serious.
hey, hey,
Bring these in.
hey,
Uh huh.
hey, hey.
Yeah, because then when your corners are in, we give ourselves a little resonance boost because the inside
Mm,
walls of our cheeks are taut, and so there's something for the sound to bounce off of, so we get a little bit more of a resonance boost versus hey, hey. If my cheeks are soft, that's just more
mm,
soft stuff for the sound to get absorbed by. So shooting for taut inside cheek walls. Hey, hey, hey.
hey, 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 hey,
Uh-huh, that's the one.
hey, hey, say so, sa.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One more like that. Hey, hey.
Hey, 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 say so, sa.
I lied. Keep going. You sound great.
Hey, hey, say so, sa.
Uh-huh. What if instead of getting bigger with the jaw, your embouchure got smaller? Just try it. It's
Okay.
gonna sound a little pinch at the start.
Hey, hey, say so, sa.
Easier, harder, or the same? What do you think?
See, my biggest thing for me when I drop my jaw, my tongue likes to really go with it. So when I didn't move the jaw as much and I focused on narrowing the embouchure through the lips, it kind
Uh-huh.
of helped keep that tongue in place too. Hey, hey, say so, sa.
Same thing here.
Hey, hey, say so, sa. Hey, hey, say so, sa. Try to not,
Little
yeah,
more airflow, little more airflow, little
yeah,
less drop in the jaw on this one.
yeah, yep. Hey, hey, say so, sa. Ethotha, e- Ethotha.
Nice. Yeah. So even on that low guy, what if you did
Uh,
a little it's gonna be almost like I don't know, I call it chewing bubble gum. Yum, yum, yum,
mm,
da, da, da.
mm,
Yeah, you feel it right here at the center of our lips. Yum, 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 yum. Uh, yeah.
like pixie sticks drop down upon the face of the moon. Still I and thought, this is what remains. Like pixie sticks drop down upon all that. And then it jumps up into that kind of not upper register, but that upper middle.
Right.
Is that my tongue, my jaw, they all like to get involved when it starts to get go out of
What
that
if
range.
you went through it on an ooh, making sure that we have that same rounded embouchure? What does that feel like for you and your voice? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And then through that same rounded space, sing "This is what remains"
Means
with that same round.
this is what
Uh-huh.
remains. Because opening it is doing me no favors. It doesn't need to be that open.
Right. And you've got we've only just begun to build the emotion of what's coming. So it'll curious, is there any air coming out? Almost like if there was a candle that you were blowing out.
A little bit of air, not a lot of air.
To imagine there's a candle, there's a flame that's flickering with the amount of air leaving on the thu. Do that one last time and then we're going to put the words back in starting. Nice. Excellent. Let's take it from 45 on the words with that same amount of airflow through that same shape of your embouchure.
In general, keeping the mouth more closed here, keeping the quality the same.
Yes.
Yes. Steel eye beams here and there were raised up by the crane, and as each was lifted from the ash, from the sand dunes of dust, I dug deeper and thought, this is what remains. A rosary, a torn picture of a family, a scrap of paper from someone unknown.
Right at 60. What if there was a little bit of that it's not too much of like a press sound, but that nasal resonant lip trill pinch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So adding a little bit more presence to it.
Yeah, there's like a tallness to it.
Rosary.
Good. Now we don't have to open up as much with the jaw here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Rosary. Yeah, that's been my biggest trick of isolation is isolating the tongue and the jaw movement.
Right.
Because that jaw goes down, the tongue wants to drop down too, and it just doesn't need to work like that. But yeah. Rosary.
Yes, Anthony, great job. That sounds really nice. The tinier the embouchure opening, the more tightly compact the sound wave will be before it leaves your mouth. So like as soon as it leaves, it's still tightly compacted, as opposed to the wider we are, the more spread apart the sound wave is, and the more likely it will dissipate, quicker when it hits the space. And so it would require us to push harder so that the sound doesn't get perceived as flat by the time it hits our audience's ear.
Right.
You know what I mean? By the
Absolutely.
time it travels out. So we get more bang for our buck, just like a factory. We want to get the most output with the least amount of money or currency put in, the least amount of effort. We we get that, we achieve that with the more rounded embouchure, uh, less opening of the jaw. That was really nice. And then into the words.
A rosary, a torn picture of
Go from
from.
when you go from ah rosary, how still can this stay? Ah, a rosary. Like imagine if you're
Yeah,
like just frozen in your spot and you look and there's
right.
just
Doesn't
stuff
have to be so
everywhere.
much so involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ah, a
Okay.
rosary. It stays a little more still.
A rosary, a torn picture of a family, a scrap of paper from someone unknown, a trinket from a desk, buried there in concrete dust, shattered glass and bone.
Oh, yeah. How is that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's moderating the amount of effort that's happening,
Mhm.
specifically in the jaw, because it doesn't need that, like especially for me, like I have to start like vertically widening if I get up to an A flat, if it's a good
Uh-huh.
day and I can get up to my A flat.
Yeah.
Um, but generally speaking, an E flat does not have to be the shit. I don't know if
And
you know.
it's less, it sounds like less effort on your part, but it
Mm,
is major impact to your
mm,
audience's ear, because it's not lessening the energy or the effect out here. So
mm,
so trust
absolutely.
that there's that balance. What if those ahs, so the oohs are great because they're oohs, right? We have corners
Uh,
in, lips flared. What if
mm,
the ooh, ah, what if the
uh,
ah was more in that same corners in towards each other, lips
uh,
moving out like a trumpet.
mm,
That not a whole lot changes embouchure wise
mm,
between the ooh and the ah. Uh,
absolutely.
nice.
Right, so that it keeps that it doesn't alter the quality too much, that it stays in that same place. My
It,
awe likes to get a little wild sometimes, so
ah.
try and move.
Nice. No, no, no. And it wasn't anything like that, but I was just like, ooh,
Mm,
I think we can
mm,
keep the timbre more consistent between the ooh and the ah here at the end so that
mm.
it just feels like this really nice,
Resolution.
yeah.
Hmm.
Like
Absolutely.
thank you so
Thank you,
much for
Cassie.
sharing your voice with me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I enjoyed